What's up, everybody? And I planned on doing this video yesterday as a prediction video, but since we've all kind of seen what's happened last night, this will be a prediction video and about the CM Punk fight last night at UFC 203, and I'll also talk about uh, Backlash tonight and what matches will be going down there. First off, I'm sure everybody's seen UFC 203. I'm sure we've all seen the CM Punk fight. I'm not going to review the full card, even though I did like that fight with Fabricio Werdum versus Travis Browne, especially that giant flying kick. And McCord versus Overeem was a great fight. But CM Punk versus, Mickey Gall. Oh boy, there's a lot to be said about this, really. A lot to be said. And I guess, look at this fight. There's a lot of reactions that go on. Let's be honest here. Did I think he was going to win? I wanted him to win, yes. But in some part of my mind, something told me the whole inexperience thing was going to go against him. I did like when he came out the Cult of Personality, which was still cool. And, I wish he would have said it's clobbering time. But looking at the start of this fight, which only lasted about 2 minutes, I think, and it was ended by submission out of a rear naked choke that made CM Punk tap out. And, Punk going in, pretty much, he really tried to rush into Gall, but when Gall took him with that double leg takedown and started throwing punches to his head and got that rear naked choke, it was over. And I'm going to be honest, I give CM Punk credit for being 37 years old, walking into this thing. I got to give him, he's got guts and everything and heart. He showed a lot to come in that like a lot of us wouldn't do and go in for being a person that age. But in all honesty, let's look at it. Mickey Gall was a young upstart. The kid was hungry. The kid is a beast. I'm sure his name's going to be out there a lot now for beating CM Punk. But I think a lot of us knew probably this was going to happen. I wish it didn't end that quick. Punk was, gracious in defeat after his speech and whatever. Don't ever tell nobody you can't do it and stuff. But, I looked at this, and a lot of people say Brock Lesnar, he lost his first fight when he was first in the UFC. Don't get me wrong, CM Punk has a long road, and CM Punk said he will be back. But he has a very, very long road ahead of him. He needs to get back to the gym. I know his ear was injured in the fight, but I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. CM Punk pretty much, I'm trying, I guess, you two don't want to curse, but CM Punk pretty much got his ass kicked. He really did, and I don't know what was his thing for going. I think that was going to be a standing, but, Gall went for that immediate takedown. He pretty much went for the whole ground and pound and a submission. Punk, I know a lot of people either shit on him. I was shocked, and I want him to come back from this, but he's got to go back and train for a very long time. And, I was listening, maybe he needs to start from some amateur fights. And don't get me wrong, this fight had a lot of hype to it. Like, no doubt about that. There was a lot of hype to this fight. People were wondering what's going to go on. There was a lot of promotion for it. It was CM Punk, and I don't know if we've learned that in 2 years he's not ready, because it's been nearly pretty much 2 years into this fight to what we see was done in under 2 minutes. Was like, wow, this guy had a lot of work to do. Was a lot of hype to it, yes. Will things turn out for CM Punk better next time? I hope so. He will say he'll be back in the octagon, and I did see him. He do his press conference after. I think he was something about to cry a little, but he did what he did. I know, and I wish he would have turned out different and everything. And I don't know what's the future ahead. I don't think he will go back to WWE, since everybody wants to say he'll go back to that phony wrestling and stuff. But I still, ever since the whole shoot interview he did on Cole Cabana's podcast, I never understood really why he wanted to go to UFC in the begin with, especially about all the injuries he said, and I just didn't know. But he did what he did out there. Do I hope things will go better in the second time around? Yeah, people are gonna use the age difference. Mickey Gall is 24 years old. CM Punk is 37 years old. And I'm sure he still got a payday out of this. I don't know how big, but you know, I'm sure he still got a nice payday for this fight. But I don't think the next one will be hyped if Dana. I don't know. I'm sure Dana White will let him come back and fight again. But I do believe CM Punk needs to go back. He needs to train more. I see that 2 years isn't enough. Let's remember, Mickey Gall is trained in this. Mickey Gall has a fight background. But they say he was a brown belt. CM Punk did not really have a lot of fight experience to him. I know people, you know, I know professional wrestling is not going to count, but I did see the CM Punk documentary. I did see him, you know, train and everything. Was this bad? Yes, it was very bad to what happened. Well, what are you gonna do? It happened. Did I, like I said, I wanted him to win? Yes. I'm sure people are gonna talk shit on him? Yes. I'm sure WWE may take a shot at him. Hell yeah, I expect WWE to take some shot out on him. Such as Ryback is one. I'm sure he'll take a shot too, but what's next for Punk? I don't know. He, like I said before, he said he'll be back, but you know, he's got a long way to go. A very long way to go. Do I hope things will go better in the future? Yeah, but Gall got him, man. Like you can't sit there and say it's no fluke, anything. Some people want to say, oh, this is some booking by UFC, this is bad booking or whatever, but yeah, guy just straight up lost. It's been 2 years, and this is the result we got here, folks. This is our result to what happened. But you know, it's like he almost stood no chance. I'm a fan of CM Punk. I'm a big fan of CM Punk. But I'm gonna say where it is. I'm gonna say what it is. He got his ass kicked. I give him all the credit in the world for doing what he did. A lot of us couldn't do, like I said before. But sometimes we gotta look at, you know, the experience and stuff. And like I said already now, will it be a next time? I hope so, but he's got to do some type of, he needs to train more, and I think he should do some amateur fights so he can come back into the UFC for, you know, the big ones now. I don't know when he'll be back for UFC. We don't know when. He probably may take a little time off, and I'm sure he'll be back in the gym and back to training, but he's really going to have to pull his all out there because what we saw, like, last night was quick. I was somewhat disappointed that it was short. I wish it didn't go down that quick. I wish it would have went through the full round or even the full, how many rounds ever it was in the fight. But, hey, got him with the rear naked choke, and it was over. It's pretty much over after that. But, you know, I want anybody to comment on what you thought about UFC 203 pay-per-view and all, and the CM Punk fight itself. So, yeah, but I'm sure he did gain some type of respect in the back from people as I've been hearing now. But he ain't finished yet. So, we'll see how this goes. So, comment on the Punk fight and everything. And as for Backlash tonight, there will be live reactions for Backlash. We will be ready tonight. Just to go over the card real quick, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship. I do believe AJ Styles, I'm hoping he wins because they got to take the belt off Ambrose, I believe now. I like Ambrose, but this whole thing of him being a lunatic, I don't believe him as a lunatic. Hell, Matt Hardy is a better lunatic than him, really. I see Dean Ambrose more of a comedy, play pranks, Bugs Bunny type of guy. Ambrose pretty much, that's the guy I see him as. AJ Styles on a roll right now. He beat John Cena. Do I see a fuck finish happening? Most likely. But my thing is AJ will win or Dean will win clean. Miz versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship, which, in all honesty, I do not care for both. I still think it still makes no sense that everything Daniel Bryan did say was the truth about Miz, pretty much. The entire truth about it, the whole safe style work. See, don't work with, you know, Miz don't work with people like AJ because, you know, kicked him in the teeth. Doesn't work with him anymore. Kofi KO'd him, knocked him out of trouble in paradise. Ziggler, I can't believe anything Ziggler says at this point. That whole feud with Ambrose was bad. He did cut fiery promos, but the match at SummerSlam was very mediocre, and we pretty much sent Ziggler back to the mid-card. Who do I see winning this? I don't know. And why are we making an angle with this with Miz when we know he sucks? Well, he's been cutting great promos with the whole safe style he's done to last this long. But Ziggler wins. I guess it's a compilation, you know, consolation prize. And as for that, I'm just gonna go with Price Ziggler. But women's match, SmackDown Women's Title, Carmella Naomi, Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss. Six-pack challenge elimination. Who do I see winning? I want Becky to win, but knowing the WWE's eyes, which I don't know why Nikki Bella, she's pretty much representing the Diva and not the women's wrestlers. In their eyes, I'm sure they'd probably make her win. They can't make her a sympathetic babyface because I never looked at the Bellas as faces in to begin with. They've always been heel, especially that political title reign she had holding that Divas title that long. And people tried to think they was going to make it to her face when they were mostly heel, and they just kept going everywhere. I almost look at Carmella as the face. But I want Naomi to win, yes, because of the dark horse, I would say. And I still think her entrance is very cool, but we're going to see we'll find out, see what happens with that. I do want Becky to win, even though she loses way too many matches. But we'll find out and see in this six-pack challenge and hope for the best. And maybe this will be good because the thing they did on SmackDown was not really good, and like nobody cared for the women that night on Tuesday. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, both men that actually desperately need a win. Some say Randy Orton is owed a win after what happened at SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar damn near killing him in the head with his elbows, and something they killed I do believe they killed Randy Orton's momentum, and he needs a win to pretty much regain some type of credibility again and beat Wyatt. Wyatt, which once again they've broken up the Wyatt family, and Wyatt is now back in limbo mode, where he's just there and says the same thing. Why you lying? Why you lying? I'm the darkness. Why you lying? So it's hard to believe in Bray Wyatt sometimes also. But I think I will see Orton coming out, or if we're going to stretch this feud, that may be like that and stretch it out or some fuck finish. Tag team titles, which will be done in 2 different matches. Usos versus Hype Bros. Whoever wins gets to face Rhino and Slater, which I really do believe Rhino and Slater are going to win the tag titles some way, somehow. I would have loved to see a competitive match with American Alpha and Usos, but I guess we got to keep American Alpha with the chase for the titles, and the Usos going in since they turned heel, which they desperately needed. And hopefully this goes out well for them. It's not a lot of matches on this card tonight, but if I do see the Usos versus Rhino and Slater, I do think Rhino and Slater win by some type of screwy finish, or American Alpha is going to screw over the Usos, or the Usos will win. But looking at that, it's not a lot of matches for Backlash really tonight. This is what we're pretty much getting. It's a SmackDown pay-per-view, and it's like, what, 5 or 6 matches on the card, so I don't really see a lot coming from it, but we'll find out and see what happens tonight. But like I said, comment, subscribe. This is pretty much a joint thing, a Backlash prediction, and my, I guess, somewhat thoughts and result on the CM Punk 203 UFC fight. And I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Live reactions also tonight, too. Peace.